a craft, a solid physical craft of some kind, breaching the airspace over what is probably one of the most sensitive facilities in the United States, if not the world. This is where thermonuclear weapons are stored. Describe what happens.
So the object came right overhead, and you could tell it was losing altitude because it was dipping down lower as it came and passed over us. As soon as it was clear of us, that's when sound returned and you could hear everything normal. We immediately got on the radios. By the time we got the first radio call out, the object had cleared the perimeter fence line, and it seemed to go behind this area that we call the bluffs, which is what kind of blocked us from view from the rest of the desert. And once it went down behind the bluffs, there was a massive flash of like orangish, reddish light. And it was so big that all of us kind of braced ourselves because we honestly thought whatever this thing is, it's just crashed. And like, it's such a huge explosion. We're going to get knocked off our feet.
How big was the object?
I'm a little hesitant because at nighttime and you don't have a good reference, I estimate it was 200 to 300 feet above our heads. If that estimate is right, and I'm fairly confident that I'm right about that, I would say it's about 45 to 50 feet across. So it was a good size object. It wasn't a drone. It wasn't. It was very large. I've been next to military aircraft.
Could it have been an aircraft of some type? Maybe a blimp or is there any kind of known prototype or craft that you can think of that might plausibly explain the shape that you saw?
So it was definitely not a conventional aircraft. It had no wings. It was a perfect disc-shaped object.
Any windows, lights?
We only saw the underside, and the underside was perfectly smooth. There was no... I mean, it did go by pretty fast, but there was no obvious markings, no obvious signs of...
Did it have a metallic sheen to it, or was it of unknown construction? Did it look constructive?
It definitely looked like it was something that was built, and whatever this reddish glow at the front of it was, it consumed about a quarter of the craft or the object. And it was reflecting off the bottom. So that's why I know that even though it was dark, that's why I know that it definitely had a sheen to it of some sort. Like it was able to reflect that light from this glow.
And so you hear this massive explosion. Was there a concussion? Was there a physical force from the blast?
So that's the thing. We didn't hear an explosion. We saw as soon as it went under or behind the bluffs, and again, it was definitely on a downward trajectory. We saw the bright flash of that orangish light. There was no sound, and we braced ourselves. There was no sound. There was no concussive force. There was nothing that you would expect. We kind of felt stupid because we suddenly you do this dumb pose where you duck down. Nothing, no sound, no force, absolutely nothing.
So what's the response to something like that? Clearly something has breached the airspace over an incredibly sensitive facility. You've obviously got to go and investigate.
Yeah, so I know on the central security controller side, one of the first things that he would have done would have been to contact main base, to contact the air traffic control tower. So I know that they would have done that. I don't know the results of that from that night. But as far as us out on patrol, we immediately went mobile. Anytime there's a significant security incident, but no specific threat, everyone goes mobile. Everyone's in their vehicles, fully kitted up, ready for something to happen. The exterior patrols, Oscar 1 and Oscar 2, they were dispatched out to go to the bluffs because we expected an object to be crashed there. We fully expected to find hurt people, something. So they immediately went out there to start looking for this object, and they found nothing. There was nothing out there. Now, granted, we were limited in how far we were allowed to go from the perimeter to maybe 300 to 400 meters. But I just find it incredible to think that there was no wreckage, that there was nothing, no signs of this accident.
Now, one of the things that you guys carry are night vision goggles and thermals. Did anybody use thermals on the site where this object had allegedly impacted with the ground or had been in the area to see whether there was any residual heat?